All right, I'd like to call the regular board meeting to order. To all rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Marevka? Here. Jones?
Here.
March?
Here.
Parker?
Here.
Ham?
Here.
Bowden? Here.
All right, in your packets, there was minutes from the April 8th regular village board meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Jones, second by trustee Parker.
Jones?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Bowden?
Here.
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Marevka? Yes.
All right. And in your packets, we have the bills payroll amount for the pay period ending 4/6/19 of $47,532.86. Accounts payable general fund was $44,816.31. And that's this, okay. So, any questions about the bills?
Amy, St. Alban Auto Body, I was wondering why.
Which one?
St. Alban Auto Body?
That's a car one of my cars ran into.
Okay,
We try to prevent that, but,
okay. Thank you.
and they had to take out the newer model car air vents that open electronically. Something my car doesn't have, but apparently newer cars do, and I went, oh, that's nice, so.
Any other questions on the bills? If not, entertain to, I need a motion to
I'll make a
approve those bills. A second? Was there a second?
Second.
Okay, so moved by trustee Ham, second by trustee Parker.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Jones?
Yep.
Marevka?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
All right, any public comment? And again, we are going to have a public hearing on the Alexander property, so we don't need that comment right now, but anything else? Moving on to reports of committees, village administrator report.
No report at this time.
Okay, police chief report? Nothing? And engineer report?
I just have an update on Rathje Road, the construction. Right now, they're scheduled to do the final service course paving on Wednesday, depending on weather.
Okay.
I have a question for engineering.
Sure.
When they redid Rathje Road, they removed a lot of dirt and piled it up on the west, or the east side of Rathje Road, for big piles. Now that they've redistributed it and cleaned it up, there's a couple of low spots where they graded it too low and there's standing water out there that never was before. It's almost like when they scooped it out, they took too much.
Okay.
And I've been monitoring it for several weeks, and not just after the rains, but it just stands there. Come summertime, that's going to be a breeding ground for mosquitoes and everything else, so if you could take a look at it.
Couldn't you let me know what areas, or I could take a look too?
Yeah, it's probably 25 yards south of Oak Street, where the creek is there.
Okay, which side of the road?
On the east side of the road, and you'll see it. And then if you continue on down, maybe another 20 yards, there's another smaller section where the same thing, but you can see where it's been scraped and just too much taken off.
Is that on the school property, not on Rathje Road?
Yes.
And I have a question. I don't know if this would be for you or for Bob and the guys. But on Crawford, I noticed today there is a huge pothole on the north side of the street between 50 and the railroad tracks. I don't know if they maybe had a water main break underneath or what, but it's big.
Okay.
So I don't know
I
if
can
it's
let Bob
also-
know. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Crawford.
And any update on Route 15 Corning?
They've been working on the storm sewer, and I believe they're gonna start excavation for the widening on the west side next week. And they've been trying to monitor the traffic cones and barriers to make sure they've been opening. I know they move them during construction, and our resident engineer has been, trying to stay on them to make sure they put them back to a good spot when they're done, so hopefully they've been better.
Okay.
I have another question. We're gonna do the Corning Street project from Route 50 to Ratchie next year. And originally, we were gonna do that ourselves, I believe, weren't we? The resurfacing?
That was always gonna be an IDOT job.
Okay. I guess my question is, since Aqua's gonna be tearing that up to put that in there, and I believe our agreement with them is that if we have to tear up the road, or they have to tear up the road to do it, they will replace that half of the road that they do on. So does that mean we have that much more money available to us for a road project, since they're gonna pay for half of that?
No, it's, the road, the job hasn't changed. It's federally funded to resurface Corning Avenue. That job hasn't changed, just the benefit is that Aqua accepted the offer to do the entire thing because the village is gonna resurface it. So that's kind of the reason why they jumped on doing the entire stretch at one time, because they were saving money.
Okay.
So,
Okay, moving on, there's no old business, new business, Peatone Chamber of Commerce. They are looking for 2 one-day liquor licenses on June 14th and 15th. So, anybody, Adam, you wanna talk about that?
These are for our block party slash festival on the weekend of Friday night, June 14th, and Saturday, the 15th, roughly noon to 11. Friday night from 5 to 11. Same as the last 2 years. We may come up on the insurance. You aren't able to get the insurance until 60 days before the actual event. So we're expecting to be getting that any day now. So that's why that's not gone through yet. So, but it's all the paperwork turned in and everything along those lines. It's just the formality of getting it completed.
In the past 2 years, we've waived those fees for the Chamber of Commerce.
That's next on the agenda.
Oh, that's further down the list?
Yeah,
Okay.
but first we have to give them the license. Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion.
I'll motion.
Okay, second.
Second.
Been moved by trustee Marevka, second by trustee Jones to approve the 2 one-day liquor licenses for June 14th and 15th.
Marevka?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Bowden?
yes.
March?
Yes. And then next on the agenda is a request from the Peatone Chamber of Commerce for the village to waive the liquor license fees, which would be $100, and the previously approved amplifier permit fee of $25 for the block party.
We've done that in the past, right?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Been moved by trustee Jones, second by trustee Bowden, to waive the liquor license fees of $100 and the amplifier permit fee of $25, so a total of $125.
Jones?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
And March?
Yes. Thank you. Good luck.
Hope to see you there.
All right. Okay, next on the agenda is the raffle license for the Manhattan American Legion. The raffle to be held at the Will County Fairgrounds, August 21st through the 25th of this year. Anybody from Manhattan American Legion here? Okay, so there was a copy of the application in your packet. I believe we did this last year as well, right?
There'll probably be a dozen more by the time the fair gets here.
Okay. Any questions at all? Or a motion?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Parker, second by trustee Marevka, to approve the raffle license for Manhattan American Legion on August 21st to 25th.
Parker?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
March?
Yes. All right, item C is reappoint David Rock for 2-year appointment to the Police Pension Board. And Mayor Cross would like to reappoint David Rock, and I believe the board has to approve that. So, any questions on that at all?
The gentleman that came and talked to us a couple times. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right. Moved by trustee Jones, second by trustee Ham to approve, to reappoint David Rock for a 2-year appointment to the Police Pension Board.
Jones?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Item D, NICOR service agreement and load letter for the new Public Works building on Ratchie Road. So Amy, you want to give us a little overview on that?
Yeah, so right now, the Public Works building that you own does not have natural gas service. It has propane. And to get natural gas out there, we would have to run 1,850 feet of pipe. And that will require a service agreement and it'll cost about $11,000, almost $12,000. And so it would require us to enter into the service agreement and provide them load information so they know what size pipe to run. And we can get recapture from that, so that if anyone else would like to tap onto that line, they would have to pay tap-on fee of approximately $6,000. So we could potentially, get our money back with 2 tap-ons.
And this line is coming from Kennedy Road, is that?
Right.
As I understand?
Right.
Okay.
So as soon as we get this done, signed and get the paperwork back to them, they can start planning on it and potentially, if all goes well, have service to the building by August or early fall.
Okay. Any other questions?
Pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You're welcome.
Questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Take the motion.
I'll second it.
So it's been moved by trustee Ham, second by trustee Marevka to approve the NICOR service agreement and load letter for the new Public Works building on Ratchie Road.
Ham?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Ham, Parker?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
March?
Yes. And next item, E, Public Works Building Plan Review Contract Ratification. Amy, if you want to explain that,
Sure.
please.
So this is again on the new Public Works facility. So we went out to bid for that, the build out inside on the office portion of it. And it's in unincorporated Will County, so they need to review the plans. They do, they outsource their plan review. And so we had to choose a service and enter into an agreement with them to pay for their services. So I authorized that contract at $90 per hour, and that's what this is. I wanted to keep that moving, and they've done the plan review already. If I would have waited for tonight to do that, then we would still be waiting. So they've done the plan review, we've gotten that back. We did not get approved. We have some comments that we have to address, so we're in the process of doing that, but that's what this is for. Keeping the project moving.
Questions? Not entertain a motion to approve that.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's moved by trustee Jones, second by trustee Parker to approve the Public I guess, ratify the Public Works Building Plan Review contract.
Jones,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
March,
Yes.
Marevka. Yes.
All right, so next on the agenda, item F is a public hearing on the Alexander annexation, which is the southwest corner of I-57 and Wilmington Peatone Road. So we are going to, I'm going to call this public hearing to order, and I'd like the clerk to call another roll.
Marevka. Here. Jones.
Here.
March,
Here.
Parker,
Here.
Ham,
Here.
and Bowden.
Here. Okay, first item on the agenda is the acknowledgement of the publication of the public hearing notice. And Mr. Mars, if you do the honors.
The public hearing notice is in your packet. Publication was on April 4th in the Daily Journal, paper of general circulation within the village. And if anyone has any questions on the notice, happy to answer them. If not, we can go on to the annexation agreement itself.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just so the public understands, this is not the truck stop property. This is a property at the southwest corner of Wilmington Peatone Road, known as the Alexander property. It is approximately 20 acres. The annexation agreement, we received a petition from the owner. The annexation agreement is pretty straightforward. The property, there's no specific plans for development at this time. The agreement provides for rezoning from R1 to I1, limited industrial. It provides that the village will reimburse its share of the property taxes to the owner until such time as as the company does develop the property. And the only other thing in there is a provision regarding inclusion within any TIF or enterprise zone or other kind of special district that's created that comes within 2,000 feet of it, if and when the village creates those in the future. So those are the basics. Otherwise, there's not a lot to it. It's pretty short and straightforward. But the next step is to provide an opportunity for the public to ask questions and make any comments they have.
Okay, so I'd like to open up for public comment and just ask you to state your name if you do have a comment or a question.
John Maxon. Question, maybe you could help educate me on something. What are the rules, or could you help to educate me on the rules as far as boundary lines between residential zoning, commercial zoning, and industrial zoning? And the problems with any one of those and the combination of them butting up against one another?
Well, the village has a zoning map and is empowered under the Illinois Municipal Code to divide the village into different zoning districts, which it has done. When a property comes into a village through an annexation agreement, it's automatically going to come in as the highest zoning, which is the R1. But in this case, the individual is requested to be zoned to industrial, and that was negotiated with the village and proposed in the annexation agreement. There's body of case law, but there's all kind of zoning districts end and new ones start, and as long as it's done in a reasonable and logical way, it's typically.
I apologize if my question was unclear. Is there or is there not an issue with industrial and residential zoning, two different pieces of property, adjacent pieces of property, one containing a residential zoning and one containing an industrial and or commercial?
Not on its face, because this is just a vacant piece of property.
So I live in the Meadows, and that's zoned residential. The land adjacent to the Meadows subdivision is or is not commercial?
Well,
I don't know.
that,
The lane next to where?
so in between.
In between the Meadows and I-57.
Like the back end
Well, I don't-
of the new, is it the new subdivision back there? Yeah. So the new subdivision
Is
that's
that
like
even part of
Westgate
the town?
and like,
Yeah.
The land that's west of you, 257,
Yes,
that's zoned residential.
it's zoned
Wow,
residential.
I'm 90% sure it is.
yeah, I
Except
think it's
for,
residential
That was phase
too.
3 of,
So my question is somewhat related to the Alexander property. You're rezoning that industrial. Is there an issue with industrial zoning, future state, bordering residential zoning, or must there be a buffer?
Here, why don't you point out where you're talking about.
I'm asking in general.
Well, I mean,
There's no legal requirement that there be a buffer.
So there's no legal requirement for there to be a buffer between residential and industrial property?
In state law, no.
That's my question.
frequently what'll happen is industrial property will be followed by commercial property, and then frequently multifamily. Because most people don't want to build a $300,000, $400,000 house next to an industrial.
Yeah.
I believe our zoning ordinances
Yeah.
addresses buffer, I mean, having some kind of,
That's
Right, a lot of times
That's what
zoning-
I'm looking for.
Yeah.
A lot of times zoning ordinances will have special requirements if there are, for properties that abut residential in terms of screening and limitations on certain types of uses and that type of thing. But does that mean that industrial can never be next to residential? It does not.
Okay, thank you.
any other comments or questions? If not, we'll close the public comment, and I need a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I'll motion it.
Is there a second? Second. Then moved by trustee Marevka, second by trustee Ham to close the public hearing.
Marevka?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
All right, then back to our regular board meeting. Item G on the agenda, some ordinances. The first is an ordinance authorizing the annexation agreement of the Alexander property, southwest corner of I-57 and Wilmington Peatone Road. And this will be ordinance 19-04. And maybe you want to just go over the three, the three different ordinances.
Right, so we're doing three ordinances, G1, 2, and 3, coming up here. The first one pertains to the annexation agreement itself, authorizing the village to execute that and enter into the annexation agreement with the property owner. The second one annexes is the actual annexation of the property pursuant to the annexation agreement. And the third one is rezoning from the R1 single family to I1 limited industrial. Under state law, the ordinance authorizing annexation agreement requires 5 of the 7 members of the board. The second one requires a majority of members of the board, 4. And then the third one doesn't have an extra majority vote requirement, but that, because it's an ordinance, that requires 4 affirmative votes as well.
And then, did you want to mention about the error there, about the publication?
Right, so in the ordinance authorizing the annexation agreement, in the original ordinance that you got, it did mention that this was published in the Vedette, so we sent you a corrected copy that said it was published in the Daily Journal. So that'll be the correct version that will be signed and executed. And that's in the publication that we acknowledged earlier in the public hearing. So we just wanted to make mention of that so you're aware.
Any discussion or questions on any of it at all? Okay, So I will entertain a motion to approve the ordinance authorizing the annexation agreement, which will be 19-04.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by trustee Bowden, second by trustee Jones.
Bowden?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
And March?
Yes. Next is an ordinance annexing the property, the Alexander property, southwest corner of I-57 Wilmington Peatone Road. And this will be ordinance 19-05. Any discussion or questions? If not, a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by trustee Ham, seconded by trustee Parker to approve the ordinance annexing the property, the Alexander property, southwest corner of I-57 Wilmington Peatone Road, ordinance 19-05.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
And then lastly is the ordinance to rezone the property from R1 to I1. This will be ordinance 19-06. Discussion? Okay, entertain a motion.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Been moved by trustee Jones, seconded by trustee Marevka to approve the rezoning of the Alexander property at southwest corner of I-57 and Wilmington Peatone Road from R1 Single Family Residential District to I1 Limited Industrial District.
Jones?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Okay. Questions of the press? Any correspondence?
The village owns a vacant lot on the corner of Washington and Lincoln Street, and I've been approached to inquire. Years ago, we talked about selling that. We've got a party that's interested in purchasing that. I think it's zoned industrial. So whatever procedure, if we do want to sell that lot, how much, what the procedure would be, just to make you aware. And they're ready to move on it, so.
So, is that something you want to talk to him about?
And then, something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's something you probably have to go into an executive session and discuss and all that.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it forward so we know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think as a first step, maybe put the party in touch with the administrator.
And secondly, the old Bennett's property, it's kind of turned it into a dumping ground. I see more piles of stuff being piled there. You know, and you come into town, you go over the tracks, and maybe you're thinking about buying a house or something, and it's like, you know, is this the city dump? I think we need to not do that. And number two, work on cleaning that up.
I wonder if when we get our occupancy permit for the Public Works building, I mean, can they start to put their stuff out there instead? Because it's for Public Works, right? It's their stuff out there, right?
I think that was the idea.
Right. Yeah, that's the whole
That's why I
idea.
voted for it, was to get that.
Right. So I guess the
I'll talk
faster
to
we
'em.
move it.
Yeah,
Maybe they could just store it now out there.
we might get in more trouble.
Oh, okay.
I don't know,
You don't
because we don't have an
we
occupancy
don't act-
permit. We
okay.
do have some trucks out there, and I think that's okay with them, but I'll find out what we
Okay.
can and cannot do.
Okay, anything else?
That's all I get.
Okay, if there's nothing else, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Is there a second? Second. And moved by trustee Marevka, seconded by trustee Bowden.
Marevka?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
March?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Crawford, what?